Hey, want to hear a list of things that's gonna make people go, what the hell is wrong with you? This is gonna be the perfect list because this is my top whatever. It's not even a fucking number list. I'm just gonna be talking about it. My unpopular gaming opinions, just stuff that I have opinions on that is unpopular. That's kind of it's self-explanatory. I don't know what you were expecting out of this video, so expect to hate me, or maybe some of you might agree with me. That'd be cool. Comment below if you disagree or agree, and then castrate me for some of the things I say. It's gonna happen. So let's just go. Let's do the whole me talking about it now. All right. So this first one's kind of a little tame, but I'm fine. I'm okay with new Sonic games. So like, I have a lot of fun with new Sonic games. I really don't like the boost to win formula, but I still have fun with it. I wish they would actually go back to the Sonic Adventure series, which gets even more hate as time goes on, but there's still people who like Sonic Adventure 2, games like that. Those games are still super fun, and I wish they would bring that style of game back. The boost to win, it's so like, it's away from a platform, and you hold square or X, whatever system you play it on. You hold that button and then you hit A couple times. Move the analog stick a little bit. Hold square. It's kind of really stupid. Sonic Mania was a step in the right direction in the 2D department. I didn't like it as much as most people did. People were like, "Oh, it's the best Sonic game ever." Oh, which, yes, it is better than what Sonic has been, but I don't like it as much as other people have, and that's another unpopular opinion. This is all about Sonic. I do like 2D Sonic. I think if 3D Sonic is done right, like if the adventure formula was more polished, that would be just amazing. They just need to bring that back, but make it more polished, spend a little more time on it, and I will love it forever. But yeah, I'm okay with new Sonic. I still have fun with it. I have fun with it. I 100%ed it. I don't 100% Sonic games often. But I did it. I got all the red coins. I got all the silver whatevers. I got them. Call of Duty. People love it. People hate it. Everybody who buys it hates it. Even though they buy the same goddamn game every year, and they're like, this fucking sucks, it's not as good as Modern Warfare 2, it'll never think it will ever be as good as Modern Warfare 2. This is another positive unpopular opinion. I have fun with it still, even when they introduce jetpacks and shit like that. I was fine with it, especially when they refined the jetpack and made it better. I liked it. I didn't care if I was not boost to the ground gameplay. I have fun with it. It's fun. You go around and you shoot people. Sometimes you go into game mode, you collect dog tags, or you switch out weapons every time you shoot people, or you have to capture a thing. It's just fun. It's mindless gun shooty game, and that's fun. The story modes can be up and down. Ghosts suck, but outside of that, yeah, from Call of Duty 4 on, I mean, the multiplayer is just it's fun. It's fun. So, yeah, obviously some are not as good as others, but I don't hate it. I'll never say I hate it, because it's fun. I don't know. It's mindless bullshit. Whatever. I'm playing. I'm shooting. I'm yelling. That's just that kind of fun. That's just what I do. Except for when they took out knifing, and now you have to hit people twice to kill them, which is fucking stupid. This is not Halo. It's Call of Duty. Get that shit out of my game. Anyway, but that's I like Call of Duty. I think it's fun. It's not the best. It's not the worst. I don't want to stab it and say I hate it and everything sucks. And even though I pay $60 a year to play the new iteration of the same game I've been playing, I still hate it. No, it's fun. The Wii U. That's a console. That's a console not a lot of people bought, because the advertisement sucked. I personally like the Wii U a lot. There was plenty of great games. So many great games that they're so great that they had to get ported over to the Switch. So then, because Nintendo was like, people need to fucking play these games. We got Toad, Treasure Tractor. Now we have new Super Mario Brothers Wii on the Switch, because titling's weird now. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We got these games that's coming out for the Switch that people could have missed on because we only sold 3 million units or whatever the hell the number was. People missed out on a good system. It's a good system. The controller was fine. Just buy a Pro controller if you don't like the gamepad, unless if the game required it, which not a lot of games actually did require it. But games like the HD remix of Zelda, the gamepad was actually useful for that because then you could just like move around items without pausing the game every 5 seconds. And you know, it helped and made improvements. Having a big screen and a little screen at the same time was actually kind of cool. The Switch kind of took that away, but now it's portable, so it's fine. It's even better. Whatever. Wii U is a fun console. And I didn't find the advertisements to be that confusing. Yeah, naming it the Wii U, yeah, that's kind of stupid and dumb and stupid. But it's still, if you just took 3 seconds of research, Google what it was, and be like, oh, is it expansions to the Wii? I don't know. And then you realize, no, it's not. When you do a little more research, then you get disappointed because you don't want to shell out another $300 for a new system, but you want to play the new Nintendo game, so you're going to shell out the $300 for a new system anyway. And it's just do research. A lot of people's issues can be done, like, negated with a little research. All right? Yeah, advertisement campaign sucked. Use Google for half a second and you'll find out the truth about what the product is. I like 3D Zeldas more than 2D Zeldas. Blasphemy! How? Opinions exist. That's exactly how, actually. But I digress. I grew up with 3D Zeldas. You know, my first Zelda being Ocarina of Time. I grew up with it, so my mind is more set to how 3D Zeldas work. I do still like 2D Zeldas. I mean, look behind me. I got a shield. I got fucking Monopoly. I got a fucking tattoo. So I like Zelda. I like Zelda quite a bit. So I played all of them, but I still like the 3D more, even though I've finished all of them. Not all of them, most of them. Something I just can't get my hands on, like Awakening, when that's coming out now. I'm gonna buy that shit. I just like the formula better. I like the dungeons. My mind works with 3D better, and the stories are a little more involved and stuff like that. Breath of the Wild is amazing. Like I played Link to the Past. I played the original. Zelda 2 sucked. That's the only one that I actually don't like whatsoever because it's not Zelda. It's just not. I'll take it for the story purposes, and that's about it. Anyway, Link Between Worlds. All those games are great, and I play them. It's fantastic. 3D just works with me. I like the 3D formula so much better. It feels, I don't know, it just makes sense to me. Smash Brothers. It's very controversial things talking about in Smash Brothers about like what game is better, what characters do this, that, but. But my unpopular opinion about Smash is going to be a little more of a broader one, and it's Brawl isn't the worst. Now, I don't know where I would put him on the tier list, but Brawl is not as bad as people want to say it is. Really the only people who really hate Brawl is the Melee competitive scene, because Brawl switched over way too much to the casual scene, where like anybody who is competitive in Smash or in Melee and really like the Melee was turned off by Brawl. And I can see the initial thing of that, and that's why people's like, oh, Melee is the best, even though 4 and Ultimate, especially Ultimate, fixed all the issues that Brawl had, and then fixed the issues that Melee had, like it being a broken mess. Competitive players, the only viable people is just the people who've been playing Melee since 2001 and know all the exploits. That's the only way you can be good at Melee, and that's why people who are not stuck in 2001 actually understand that, hey, Melee is not as great as the future games. But I digress. I'm talking about Brawl. That's another unpopular opinion, though. But Brawl, let's go back to that. The sheer fact that Subspace Emissary exists makes it I think I definitely put a lot more time into Brawl than I did 4. And then I think it's comparable to Melee, because I put way too much in Melee for what for how much content that has and how casual I was in 2001. Subspace Emissary is just a fantastic single player mode. I really wish Ultimate's World of Light was more like that, but I understand why Sakurai did what he did. It makes sense, whatever. But that being said, Subspace's story is still awesome, and it was full blown out levels, and it was just fun. And I put Brawl over 4 just because of that. It has a better single player like experience. And even though 4's gameplay is better and more refined, and I like playing 4 more than Brawl, but I think Brawl is better because of how much single player content there is, and you can still do multiplayer shit as well. So, give or take. Now let's flip over to the other side of unpopular stuff and me hating on things. I've talked about things I've liked. Now let's talk about things I hate. I hate Dark Souls. What are you, some sort of bitch or something? Okay, alright. Hear me out. Fuck off, Dark Souls community, with that bullshit. Just because you don't think the game is hard because you dump 5 million hours into it and you know every aspect of the game, doesn't mean people who are not obsessed with this freaking game doesn't think it's hard. It's hard. It's insanely hard. And it's hard because of the clunky controls and the pain in the ass enemies and pain in the ass enemy placements and how open the world is. Even though you you will run into a guy who's way stronger than you, and you can't fight him because you just get thrown into a world and be like, all right, go ahead and die, because that's just what's gonna happen. You're gonna die, and then you lose everything when you die unless you get back to the original point and grab your shit. But then you're probably gonna die before you get to the point, so then you lose everything, and it's just a perpetual state of dying and losing and dying and losing. Unless if you fully know the game and you really know the game, you really run the game. But I don't want to put that much time into eventually not dying when I get anywhere close to progression. That is too much time to sink in the game and be stressed and piss me off into eventually liking the game. And you can say all you want, it's like, oh well, I didn't have any trouble with it at all ever. One, I don't believe you, but even if that's true, that doesn't mean it's not hard. You just happen to get it a little bit. But I hate it. It is insanely hard. There is a reason why the meme of, oh, this game is the Dark Souls of this. This is Crash is the Dark Souls of platformers. The Dark Souls of this it's notoriously hard. Its repetition is hard. So when you tell me that it's not hard, then that is just, you're just trying to defend the game in a unlawful way. It doesn't make any sense. I don't like the game. I hate the controls. I don't even think the world is interesting. The lore is kind of cool, but that's about it. The set pieces is just zero color, and I like at least a little bit of color in my games. I just don't like it. I'm just not a fan, and I'm gonna get castrated by the community. But I don't give a shit. This is what I think, and you can't change it. Okay, now I didn't think this one was gonna be unpopular at first, but I've had lots of internet arguments over this. And this is the most subjective thing ever, even though I think it's objectively bad. Face My Fears, the song by Utada featuring Skrillex, which is really just Skrillex featuring Utada, made for Kingdom Hearts 3, it's a bad song. It's just straight up bad song, and it's awful. It's gross, it's awful, it's digital puke. That's what it is. I talked about this in my first impressions of Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm going to talk about it now. It sucks. I hate it. Utada is great. Her singing and how that goes, everything's great. Even like the techno is kind of okay. But you just get lost in her voice. Then it drops, and then it goes to Skrillex's usual bullcrap of computer fucking. I don't know how to describe the sound. It's just awful. It's makes my eardrums want to commit suicide. It's not pleasing to hear. I don't know how people can enjoy this song. It's so bad. It doesn't fit Kingdom Hearts whatsoever. And people are like, oh well, you're just having nostalgia goggles. Simple and Clean and Sanctuary had their own, or Passion, however, whichever version you want to call it, had their own techno versions. Yeah, that was good techno. Early 2000 techno is way better than now techno. Yeah, there is good techno songs now, but Skrillex isn't part of that. I know there are better artists that could have done it. Utada did not need Skrillex. They only got Skrillex for the name so then people could check it out because they wanted Kingdom Hearts to be even more well known. So they sacrificed integrity and had a bad song made just so they could get. And there's a reason why there was no remix of the song. The end of the game had a completely different song that Utada made all herself that did not need any help with Skrillex. The beginning is the only time you ever hear the song, the only time it's ever mentioned, and no one cares about the song after that because it never comes back. At least, Simple and Clean and Sanctuary had two different versions because they were that good of songs that, hey, we got the beginning version that's upbeat, and then we had the credits version that's slow and passionate. This song is just awful in every way, shape, and form. Outside of Utada singing, when we bypass that, Skrillex doesn't know how to make good songs. No matter, I don't care what his past is. The things he's made, what makes him popular, is bad, and I don't know how he's popular because of it. It's just bad. It's just awful. It's just bad. Now this one is probably the most controversial one of all. Yeah, even more than Dark Souls. I don't care for backwards compatibility. It's nice to have, yes, but it's not something I care about. It's not a deal breaker for me to get a console. You know why I buy a PS4 for? Yeah, I said 4. I said 4 twice. But you know what I buy the 4th iteration of PlayStation 4? For new games. I want to play the newer games. I want new games to come out. I don't care about the past games. You know what? If I want to play a PS3 game, I plug in my PS3. If I want to play a PS2 game, I plug in the PS2. If I want to play an Xbox game, I don't. But like, let's say I do. Let's say I want to go back to Halo. Ever. I just plug in a fucking Xbox. Backwards compatibility is not important. It really isn't. That should never, ever, 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 ever be a deciding point of if you're gonna get one console or the other. You know what are deciding points? Performance, games, UI. There's actual important things about a system than if it could play your old games. Like, concentrate on the new games. Like, we want to move forward. I'm not saying wanting to play the first Uncharted is a bad thing, or wanting to play, whatever game you want to play on the 360, PS3, Wii U, whatever. But just don't sell your consoles. Don't throw away your consoles. Keep them safe. And you can say, oh well, consoles die over time. Not even fucking take care of them. How does AVGN still play their fucking NES games without having an actual working NES? He doesn't use emulators. He still has a CRT that you could just plug it into. You can find CRTs everywhere. Or you could get a HDMI. You could get a converter. That's the word I'm thinking of. Where you could play your NES on an HD TV. And then you could even, keep it by a 4x3 and not have it stretched. So then you could play the games. You don't have to have backwards compatibility. Just don't sell your consoles. Keep your consoles. And the people who sell their consoles, I hope you just don't care about playing the past games or waiting for ports or re-releases, because backwards compatibility is just not important to me. Not at all. I don't care if I can't play games from the PS3. It just doesn't bother me. I want to play the newer games. I've already finished those games. Unless if they re-release it and I really like the game, then I'll play it again. Or if I really want to play it, I just plug in the old system. Don't sell systems. How about that? So there are my unpopular gaming opinions. For you, you're mad. You're mad now. I can see it in your fuming eyes. There's smoke coming out of your eyes. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Dark Souls? What the fuck? That's exactly what you're doing. Or if you agree with me, then you're like, finally, someone shares my thoughts. It's one way or the other. There's no middle ground. Ever. So, if you like this episode, thumbs up. If you want to see more from us, subscribe. And until next time, bye.